Hello, and welcome back. Yes, today is a special day. Woo! Taye, you are welcome. Absolutely welcome. You
Thank you so
always
much.
in the chat. We always having these conversations back and forth in the chat, and today
Yeah.
we've got you here. You are absolutely welcome. I appreciate you coming. And
Thank you so
yeah, I'm
much.
sure this is going to be good. So we've got in the chat, we've got James. Hello, James. James Apperson. Well, you were in the chat yourself, Taye. He says,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting myself ready. You're here now. Dean says, I look forward to this. Africa
Yeah.
is waking up from religious coma. Dean is from South Africa.
Oh wow.
So he's very passionate about Africans just waking up to, just like he rightly said, the religious coma. So
Mm,
yes, you are welcome. James
thank
Afferson
you.
says, yes, love the intro. It was Dean Kruger. He's the one who sorted out my intro for me. He's
Oh
just
wow.
amazing. Yeah, so I have him to thank. And James says, his smile makes my heart happy. Taye, your smile makes him happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're going to, James, you're going to make him blush. You're going to make him listen. So let's get started.
Sure.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a conversation, and after a while, if anyone wants to ask us questions, myself or Tai, please feel free to ask your questions. And you saw the title of the stream is a deconversion story. To be honest, I
Hmm.
don't know where Tai is on that spectrum of walking away from religion, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to find out a little bit more. And so, Tai, do you want to tell us about yourself? And then, yeah, just take it from there.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. You know,
Mm,
I always been on the chat room. Just to
yes.
add to the conversation. And the first time that I find out about
If you
you
can
is
speak a bit
like,
louder, speak
yeah.
louder, please.
The first time that I find out about you is like, I'm like, what? There's another Nigerian here? I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so my name is Taye. I live in USA. I've been here for 7 years. Uh, I love what I'm doing. I'm based in like cooking area, cooking. I'm a
Chef,
chef.
you're a chef.
Yes, yes, I'm a chef, and I've been doing that for all my life. And I was born in Ondo State, precisely. My parents, they were not that religious. They were kind of, they're going to church, but just Monday, Sunday church, Sunday, you know, New Year, they celebrate Jesus Christ. They just know they're celebrating that. They don't know meaning, you know. But when I now travel to Lagos, I decided to, pick it up. Let me know what is going on. I started, taking it serious. Like, I need to be fire for the Lord, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you wanted to be on fire for the Lord.
On fire
That
for
is
the Lord.
that's the way over in Africa there's some lingo
Hmm.
that come with the territory. There's some lingo that come with Christianity. So the Bible says you cannot be lukewarm.
Uh-huh.
You are
They will
either
spit you
hot
out.
or you are cold. There's no in between. So what Taye is saying is when he moved to Lagos, he wanted
Hmm.
to be on fire for
On
God. When
fire
someone
for the
says
Lord.
on
Yes.
fire for God, That means they are blazing hot for God.
Exactly.
They are preaching on
Exactly.
the streets. They are
Exactly.
baptizing. They are proselytizing. They're, just making disciples of nations. So tell us, carry on.
Yeah. So, in Lagos, a friend of mine now introduced me to like Mountain of Fire, which is
Oh
MFM. So
gosh.
when I get to Mountain of Fire, I see something different entirely. I'm like, fire, prayer, everything, that. I'm like, I like this so. Then from there, I think I got baptized at Ikoyi Baptist Church. There's all
Right.
those rich man church in Ikoyi, like everything fancy. I'm like, I don't feel cool here. I leave the church, but I just, typical style of African prayer stuff, like your ancestral die, your this thing die, all those die,
Wait,
die,
wait.
die.
Let me
Yeah,
let me let me describe. Let me describe for the people the church you're talking about.
yeah,
So what Taye is talking about, the kind of church he went to. The church is called Mountain on Fire.
yes.
This church have very peculiar ways of doing church. They pray some very dangerous prayers, and most of the prayers are usually fire, fire, fire prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Die, die,
Ancestral
die,
curse.
die, die. Enemies are not spared in this church. If you have an enemy and you go to this church, you have to pray for them to die. They're either dying by fire, fire is falling down on these people. They're praying constantly 24/7. Look, the prayers are, prayers that when you pray, you are groaning and you're
Mm-hmm.
shakabashing, and they are known for these very dangerous prayers. I think I must have showcased some of their prayer points on here before. So Taye
Yeah,
found himself in that particular congregation.
yeah. I think
Oh
some of the
my.
church nowadays in Nigeria, maybe Africa, they copy the style of that kind of prayer because they
Mm-hmm.
feel like, oh yeah, everything must die. If you do something that you are not succeed, oh yeah, it's ancestral curse, it's something like that, you know. So I decided like, oh, I love this type of church. Then I joined in 2014 to 15. No, maybe 2013, 12, 13, 14. Yes, I joined and I was member. Like, if I say I was member, I'm really,
A,
really
a
membered.
serious member.
Yes, I
Oh
was.
wow.
And I don't want to feel like someone would tell me like, oh, it's because you are not believer or something. No, I was. I
You
joined
were a
ministration.
believer.
I joined prayer ministry. I joined choir. I lead music in the church. Um, some of the small small branch we were there to to make them come up, to assist them in their instruments, to assist them in the choir. Yeah, even after the church service I was there praying, doing deliverance for people and all those stuffs.
You were
Yeah,
doing deliverance for people.
yes, I was part of
People were falling under
deliverance.
the anointing. But people
Yes.
falling. Wait, no, please tell us. We need to know where you're coming from. Wait,
Yeah,
when
so
you say you
so
were performing deliverance for people, you were laying hands on them and they will fall.
No, not like that. We have
Oh,
like
okay,
yeah, we have like elder pastor that
right,
we junior that we are me and part of the deliverance service. So
right.
we're gonna come in group. Then we pray for someone may at the end of the church service. The pastor will announce that, oh, if you need deliverance at the end of the service, you have to stay. Then they're gonna call us that we are part of the deliverance ministry. Then we come out. Then we may pray for maybe one person more than 2 hours. It's
Ooh,
like yeah, we're gonna until the person started manifest. There is scorpion in me. There is this in me. The one that destroyed it. Then just give all those tests. They are evil, so-called evil
yeah,
that they have
yeah,
done before. Yeah, they
yeah.
started giving the testimony. So I'm part of that group, and I've seen like something like someone confess and say, "Oh, I killed my brother. I killed my sister," stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah,
And
it was
at that
interesting.
at that time, did you believe those things?
Yes, yes. I'm 100% believe that. Like,
So wait, hang
yeah.
on. Let me explain to the chat what you have just told us. So Taye was once a part of, so this church, Taye was in, part of the leadership team. He wasn't at the top, but somewhere, running things. And his role was to pray for people, right? They could spend up to 2 hours at a time praying for one person, and these were prayers of deliverance. So people have problems. Say, I'm trying to get a job, I can't get a job, I've
Mm-hmm.
tried many applications, and just not able to get a job, and I come to the church and say, can you guys please pray for me? And they would decide, let us do a prayer of deliverance, because you need deliverance from something. That's why you're not able to get a job. And so people like Taye and the people, they would lay hands on you, they would pray these special prayers, and then after they've laid their hands and done all these prayers, before you know it, the person will start manifesting. There's something they call manifesting. Then they start falling over, they start saying, they start saying, uttering things like, I killed my I killed my father, I killed my brother. They start revealing things. It's like they get into this they get into this uh, zone where things just start coming out their mouths. They start, making proclamations. They killed such person. I don't know how to describe this, but I just asked Taye if he truly believed these things. And Taye says, indeed, he did believe all those things were real when he was doing them, right?
Yeah, I'm 100% believe. Like I said, I'm
Gosh.
like totally believe in all these things because I don't have another option that I can attach it to. Like, oh yeah, maybe this is
Hmm.
like this, maybe this. So I don't have option than to believe it, and that is where I'm into it. Like pray. That is what I believe. Study Bible. Sometimes I wake up midnight, pray for 4 hours by myself. Like I'm just
Ooh,
praying. Like, and
4 hours
we
in
have,
the midnight
yeah,
praying.
in midnight, yeah.
Yikes.
And we have those prayer book that
Mm.
Geo
Die
are
by fire
attached to
book.
us. So I call those book medicine book because if you
Ooh.
open it, if you say, oh, you have problem of headache, you look for one that say headache on it, or you look for
Oh
one that
my
talk about
God.
marriage, you look for one that
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
job. You just open the page, you just started praying about it. The way there was a book called Prayer Rain from Mountain of Fire. Prayer Rain.
Oh,
It's it's a little that book sell a lot, but that book is I read that book like crazy. To be honest,
did
I
you?
yes I pray everything in that book, like because I believe in it, and
Yes,
I
yes.
there's no opportunity for me to study anything else. Christianity make us believe like when you go out of that realm of Christianity, of that spiritual stuff, you try to study something different. It's like, oh, you give devil chance to come into your life, to tempt you, to make sure you are kind of you being backslide. They're just gonna get, and you don't want to try that. You just base
No.
on, yeah, just stay on that lane of Christianity, open Bible. And open Bible is just like it's the
Is the
chapter
baby is
that
baby is baby in the car?
yes, my son is there.
Baby, okay. Is he all right? Please, if you need to
Yeah,
attend to him,
yeah,
please
it's
do
fine.
attend to him. Let me answer this. You
Okay,
attend to him. Let me answer this question.
all right.
It says, did those people really kill their family members? 9 times out of 10, James Apperson, the answer is no. Um, it's very tricky, and this is why religion is very problematic over in Africa, right? When bad things happen, they're so quick to um, blame the spiritual for things that happen around us. So basic things that you can find just very simple explanations for. You find that most of these Christians and churches would blame, there's always something attached. And so some people might have someone die in the family, and for some reason they just would never assume that that death must have been a natural death. They just would think that someone's killed that person. They were too young to go, and they would just find somebody in the family who they assume may have killed the person. So it only takes one person to accuse another and for the other person to believe. And they go to these churches, and before you know it, they start talking about things maybe they've been accused of, and they've been made to believe these things. Nine times out of 10, nobody's killed anybody. Someone's just made an accusation, and they've just gone ahead and believed it. Now, the one time out of many, it's possible that they did kill. It's hard to tell, but anything you hear from church, I always say, take with a pinch of salt, because some of these people are in on the act as well. Some of these people are actors. So the things that you hear in church, just always take with a pinch of salt. Doubt everything you hear in church. Doubt everything. You can turn your camera off, Taye. Yeah?
Okay, okay.
You can turn your camera off, just so we to protect your little one, okay?
All
At
right,
least
all right,
we know you're there.
all
So
right.
James, did that answer your question? Let me see. JG, how are you doing, JG? I'm so glad that more and more people are finding their way out of religion. And JG, not just any religion, but the toxic, really toxic. Can you imagine that Taye used to pray 2 hours for one person? They'd spend 2 hours, they will pray for you until you start confessing things that you probably haven't done. In I this is what my these are my thoughts. I think that some people are forced to these churches, right? They've been accused of being witches. Then the family would take them there and say, pray for them, right? And then the pastor and these people like Taye will pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. Now, the person knows that I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. So I better just confess about something I haven't done so I can get out of here as quickly as possible. Some people just say these things just so they can just let me go, just leave me alone. I'm fed up. Otherwise, they're not going to leave you alone. I don't know. It's just people have been known to have mental health breakdown, right? If you have a mental health breakdown, instead of taking you to the church, sorry, instead of taking you to the hospital, they take you to church or to the mosque, right? And then they will put you in shackles, put you in chains, your feet and your hands, while they're praying for you. You're chained up while the prayers are going on. Some people are locked up in churches and locked up in mosques because they want to pray for them. So it's a real uh it's it's pathetic what happens in some of these religious organizations. It kind of sounds like speaking in tongues and possession. When everyone is behaving a particular way around you in a church, you tend to copy them. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
I agree.
exactly. I agree with that. All right,
Taye, you there?
I'm back now. Yes.
Aha, good. Right. So you want to carry on?
Yeah. Yes. Let me know if the breeze is not disturbing my
It's
earphone.
a bit windy, but just carry on. I'm sure we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, it's kind of I believe everything that they were saying. I really believe it.
Mm,
And me join that group, it made me feel different, even from my family. I started, accusing some of them like, oh, you are not Christian enough, you are not this
mm,
enough. You started pointing finger to someone. because you feel like, oh,
Mm.
this is the person that's in charge of your life, you know, and they make you believe like all this ancestral cause, ancestral this. I just
Did
kind of
you
like,
did you accuse anyone of being the cause of your problems?
I don't accuse, I can't point finger directly, but in your prayer, the way you been framed, like any power from my father's house, my mother's house, my in-law, all those kind of prayer, definitely you point a finger, you instead of you take
Yes,
responsibility of,
indirectly.
yeah,
Indirectly.
exactly.
Mm.
And then one of my sister, she's going to the same church. She's still there now, but
Hmm.
she accusing most everybody in the family.
Oh
Everybody in the
gosh.
family, like, oh, well, because I didn't succeed, I'm not succeeding in life because, oh, it's you people that was behind of my,
My
um,
yeah.
problem.
Let me explain what you just said. So what Taye is saying is because of his role in this church and him praying for others and seeing that these problems are always ascribed to this spiritual realm, Taye now got to the point where he felt so superior, and everyone else who was not part of this church, they're inferior. And so he now started assuming that everything that could go wrong in his life, everything that went wrong in his life, had to be some ancestral problem. Some, they call them generational curses, things that have come from your father's house, from your 10th generation previous, right? So when things are going wrong, this church, because of his how they teach their own kind of gospel, he start to assume that these problems are coming from his father's house, from his mother's house, and all these things. And his sister still goes to that church till today. And the sister has taken it one step further. His sister is actively accusing members of the family who are not in that church, as when things are going wrong in her life, she's pointing hands at them, that it's because of them. That's why the family is not doing well. It's because of them. And what's so bad is the pastors encourage these accusations. Pastors have been known to tell members that, look, your it's your mother. Your mother is the one who is the witch in the family. You need to bring your mother over here. And then some people will go back home and go and beat their mother to death. I'm telling you what goes on in Christianity over in Africa. Some people will go back home and beat their mother or send the mother out of the house because the pastor has said that the mother is the cause of the problem. It's just terrible. Oh, Taye, please take it away. Mm.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, the way you said it is like exactly the way I know you've been in that shoe before, so
I
definitely
have.
the
That's
way you
why
are
I
putting
can
it.
I can relate.
The way you are putting it is like you are just copying my stuff and paste, which I really
I can
appreciate that.
relate. I've been there myself. I can relate.
Yeah, I really appreciate
Hey,
that. And
Casey Randy.
yeah, and I remember when I went to, because we have all this like group camp that we're gonna be doing like once in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna call it deliverance. You may be there for a week that you want to do special deliverance for this. I was there in those camp and rent hotel. There's hotel in the camp as well that you're gonna rent that you can stay for a week. I'm gonna be there for like a week. I started
Mm-hmm.
praying, pray for 1 week.
I
Doing,
bet you were fasting too.
oh yeah, oh, you had the best one. 40 days, 30 days, 70 days.
40
You
days fast.
Yes, dry
Wow.
fasting for 7 days, dry fasting for 2 days. That all,
Guys,
yes.
wait. Tell you, wait, hang on. I need to describe what, when we talk about fasting, right? Most churches will declare a fast for the church. So there's fasting and then there's dry fast. When they say a dry fast for 7 days, that means No food for 7 days. You can drink. Taye, when you're doing dry fasting, you're allowed to drink water.
No. If you
No
drink
water
water, no water, nothing. That if
for
you
dry
drink water,
fast.
that means it's wet fasting. That's
So
what they
that's
call
a
wet
wet
fasting
fast
too.
if you
Yes,
drink water.
water,
Okay. So dry fast means no water
nothing. Yes,
and no food.
yes,
Are you allowed to brush your teeth?
yes,
You can brush your teeth.
yes. You can brush your
But
teeth.
some people do not allow brushing of teeth even.
Wow.
Yes, some people don't allow, because when you say dry, it's got to be completely dry. You know, when you brush your teeth, water goes into your mouth. So some
Mm-hmm.
people might say you can brush, but you must not
Yes,
let the
yes.
water
Don't yes.
go.
Don't swallow the water.
You mustn't ingest the
Yes,
water. You've got to spit it out. So these
yes.
are these are just some of the ways that some Christian establishments pray their own prayers. The prayers come with fasting and seclusion. Taye has just described camp. They go away for 1 week, right? And you said you have to rent a hotel.
Oh yes. You have to
You have
rent
to
hotel
rent
in the same church, which they have the
in
hotel
the
room
church.
in. Yes,
So you rent a hotel in the church premises. You have a
yes,
hotel room in the church premises, and that money is paid to the church, right?
exactly. Because
Whew.
the hotel holds by the church.
The hotel is owned by the church.
Business.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Whew. Gosh.
Yeah.
JG, you can't be a Christian in some of these churches over in Africa. You can't survive 3 days fasting, 7 days. In fact, there was one church. Taye, do you remember? Redeemed Church declared 100 days fast some years ago. Remember? Do,
Yes.
do
Yes.
you did you hear
Yes.
about the
I remember.
100 days fast?
Yes.
Yeah, and
To me, it's like they were doing competition. Like
you
the church Mountain of Fire and Redeemed, they're close to each other, right? So,
okay?
yeah. So this one would do 70. Oh, this one. Oh, they do 70. Me, I would declare 100. Oh, you declare 100. Oh, I would declare 120.
So wait, the churches are competing among themselves who can fast the longest. So one church would declare 70 days fast and another one would declare 100 days. But you know what's bad about these guys is that these churches usually would tell the members that it's God. God is the one that has said that they must fast for 100 days. They don't tell the members that we think we should fast for, we assume we should fast, or we think that's what the Holy Spirit is. No, 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 no. They say God in heaven says we must fast for the first 100 days. What they do, they let the church enter into the new year, right? They usher in the new year, they go to church for night vigils. While they're in church, Happy New Year! Hey, everyone. And then by the second day of the new year, that's when they declare the fast. So they can fast for, depending on how many days. The fast could go on for 40 days, could go on for 30, could go on. But this church actually declared a 100-day fast. Now, guys, what's so bad about religion in Africa is this. Let me tell you why this is really bad. In the month of January, usually, you know, you're supposed to pay a tithe, 10% every month or every week, depending on how you get paid. If you get paid monthly, you're expected to pay 1/10 of your income monthly. If you get paid weekly, you're supposed to pay 1/10 of your income weekly. But you see, in the month of January, is different. In the month of January is what you call they call it
First fruit offering.
your first fruit offering.
Yes.
Please, Taye, can you please describe for us what the first fruit of in the very month where they declare that fast? This is what they expect. So while you're fasting, this is what they want you to do with your money. Taye, can you please tell us what does first fruit offering mean, please?
Oh, you just make my day with that. To be
Made your
honest.
day. Tell us what first fruit offering means.
First fruit offering is like me, even me myself, I'm using it to
Hmm,
give testimony in church. Like, oh, if you don't pay your first fruit offering, it's I mean, if you pay your first fruit offering, it will be blessing. It will be this. Not until I started see like, no, this is like kind of robbery. So first fruit
mm.
offering is like all your income that you know, your first income from the beginning of the year. You have to be your first fruit offering. You have to give everything for the Lord, you know, and now see the end of the rest of the month of the year, and now see the outcome. Put your trust in the Lord, and you will see what God will do for you. Like if you
No,
pay this first fruit
listen,
offering.
Taye, wait.
Mm,
You didn't say it the way I wanted. Listen, guys, there are 12 months in a year.
yes,
In the month of January, in most churches over in Africa, it's like it's like they want to kill people. They really want to strangle people because
exactly.
they would declare a fast. After declaring the fast, then first fruit, what the first fruit is, you have to give everything.
Everything.
Everything you earned in the month of January is your first fruit offering, and that
Hmm.
belongs to God. That belongs to the church.
It belongs to
Now,
Jesus.
if you are a business person, say you are a recruiter of people, so you are the one who is paying the income of others, right? You're a business person, self-employed or whatever, you know. Now you need to pay to God everything before, wait, hang on, your gross, the gross earnings, before tax, before paying anything out, anything you earn, you have to give everything, and then you have to go and look for another means to pay your staff. Everything before tax, everything before any deductions, right? Before you, here in the UK, they will collect your NI, national insurance, and state contributions, all those things. You know, no, you have to give every singular thing. Then you go and find some other source to pay your staff. Yes, 12th instead of 10th. No, not the. There's 12 months, right? So no, KCA Ranji. So in the month of January, you pay everything, but for the rest of the 11 months, you pay 1/10 plus your tithe and all the other ones, the building offering, pastor's offering, honorarium. There's so many different kind of offerings, right, Taye? Am I right?
Oh yes, there's all
Yeah.
kind of offering. Yes, guest offering, pastor's offering, pastor's wife offering, pastor birthday offering, offering for building, offering for university that we are building, offering for what again? Offering for
Gosh.
special guests, of all
Yes.
kind of offering,
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
just
mm-mm.
to make everyone out.
Yes. On top of a tithe. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Tithe is don't touch. It's belong to Jesus. Tithe.
No, but I think in the month of January, because you're giving everything, that you can count that as both tithe and offering. That's absolutely fine. Just in the month of January. So can you
Yeah.
imagine, guys, that in the month of January you are starving physically, you're not eating, and your pockets are starving too. January is a very dreadful month. One of the some years ago, Taye, do you remember this guy? What's his name? Adeboye's son. What's his name? Leke.
Okay.
Adeboye's son Leke was telling the members of the church, right, in December, he was telling the members of his father's church that they should not go overboard spending in December because the hard month of January is coming and God's money has to be paid to God. They must not overdo the Christmas celebrations because God's money is still due to him in January. Do you remember that video? Wait, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. I'll go
Oh yes,
find it
I
now.
remember that video.
I will look for it and then I will play it now. You will see the man that has the most churches in the whole of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
His son was telling members not to go overboard with Christmas. Wait, Leke at the on first fruits. Okay, let's see if I can find. Uh, right. Okay, guys, let me share my screen here, and you can see. Um, says, what if they don't make any money in January? Well, you don't make any money, you don't make money. But um, how can you not give God money? How can you not give God money when God needs your money every point in time? God always needs money. So, Taye, let me just share this video here of Leke telling members to just 1 second, guys. Let's have a look here. Okay, so we're going to hear. This is the son of a man that has the most churches in the whole of Africa. This was him. Wait, let's see if we can. So I have to quickly do this video. Okay. New Year once again. So I have to quickly do this video so I don't waste your time or waste mine. And loading can be 1 minute or less. First fruit increase, first fruit sacrifice, two different things. Okay, it's very simple. One is giving the increase that you get as an offering. So say you were being paid a salary of 500 naira last year, and by January 20 or any time throughout 2020, it has become 501 naira. You give that 1 naira as your increase. You will tithe your regular 500 as it is 10%, which will be 50 naira. But the one you would just give it as an increase. That is the first fruit increase. So, guys, what this guy has just said is there is what you call paying your first fruits. Then there is also a first fruits increase and a first fruit sacrifice. Taye, have you ever heard that one before?
I've never heard this before. This is strange.
I'm telling you, there's first fruit increase and first fruit sacrifice. So let's hear what Leke has to say, what the rest of Leke. The first fruit sacrifice, like Abraham did by putting Isaac up, is the whole thing. Everything. So you might choose to give your whole January sacrifice, or your whole January income, the whole thing. Everything. If it's a salary, by the way, because this is in different levels, depending on your relationship with God, depending on your understanding and your depth that you have with God, or whatever agreement you have. So, depending on your relationship with God, the closer you are to God, the more you are giving to God, right? So, however much your relationship determines how much you give to God. So, God, this is personal. It's personal. You don't even have to give anything. You don't have to give anything. Really? You don't have to give anything. As sacrifices go, some people will remain there and don't sacrifice anything. But some people will sacrifice for them. Queuing Jesus. Had to die for the whole world. The whole world didn't come and die for him. Anyway,
so we don't miss the point. So you can give your salary or your.
Sorry. Okay. So he was saying there's a longer video. This is not the one I was looking for. There was a video where he said, let's see. There's a video where he said he was telling members not to forget that January is coming soon, and if they're not careful, come come January, they're not going to have anything to give. 1 second, let me see if I can find that video. Um, let's see. First fruits increase. No, not this one. Where is it now? Okay, guys, I don't think I'm gonna find that video, but yeah, I think we kind of get the gist what this guy was trying to say. So first fruits increase, first fruit sacrifice, and first fruit this and first fruit. It's terrible. Okay, Taye, please, can you carry on your story? I'm so sorry, I keep interrupting you. So can you tell us your story?
Yeah, sure. I can continue. Thank you so much. I really that video that you are looking for. I've heard about that video before.
You have.
Sorry about the noise. My son was
No,
here.
no, 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 please don't be sorry. No, your baby comes
Yeah,
first.
because anywhere that I have, he always want to follow me,
Oh,
and I don't
bless
want to
him.
stay at home and do the. Sorry.
It's okay, please. Don't worry. We love babies here.
Yeah, and I don't want to stay at home and do this because of the
That's
my wife.
fine. Absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Just
So
take your time.
so when I now started going to Mountain of Fire, it opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, and I see a lot of stuff like the prayer, the family. I changed my life. You have to dress different. You have to present yourself different. Yeah, I started doing that, and
Can I
I
ask
now
you? Can I ask you
go
when
ahead.
you were in Mountain on Fire, were you allowed to wear perfume?
Hmm, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Were you
But I
allowed
never use
roll
perfume.
on
Yeah, yes,
roll on
yes.
perfume?
I use that. I use that.
You use that, okay? Because
Yes.
some churches do not allow. No, but you're a man. They were more strict. There's more strict on the women. So in the church that you went to, were women allowed to wear trousers?
Oh, no.
No,
That's a big
women are not
sin.
allowed trousers. Do women have to cover their heads while they're in church?
Yes. Yes.
Do they have
Even
to
if you didn't
cover
cover
their
your
head?
hair, you can't come inside the church.
You can't come in the church if your head is
Yeah.
not covered. Were
Yes.
women allowed jewelry?
No. That is
No
a big
jewelry.
and demon. Yes.
You say that again?
It's a big demon that you are
Jew-
carrying on your hair.
Jewelry
Jewelry.
was a big demon.
Yes.
What else again? Makeup. Were they allowed makeup?
No.
No makeup. So these are the restrictions that are placed on people in some of
Yeah.
these churches, and this is one of the, you went to one of such churches. I went to one of such churches as well. So yeah, carry
Yeah.
on.
And
I'm
they
so
they
sorry. I
didn't
keep
allow
interrupting.
attachments like the
Yeah,
the
like
attachment for
what I've got
ladies.
on now,
Yes.
extensions. No, this is when you have this on. For some people, having this on, this is the devil. This is snake. It's like you're putting snake on your head, and you are on your. This is hellfire. This is hellfire bound for some churches, for some Christian denominations. Yeah, in
Hmm.
fact, as I'm sitting here right now, I've got makeup on, I've got some lipstick on, I've got some blusher on, I've
Eyelashes.
got
Yeah.
my hand is I've got color there, I've got jewelry on. I'm on my way to hell. There's no two ways about it. This is if there was a one-way ticket to hell, I'm off there. Right, Taye?
100%. You're right. Everything that you put on now is like, I believe some people will sit down one corner and started praying for you now. Like, If you talk to them, they will like, I talk to Satan today face to face.
They would think I'm Satan, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly, exactly.
My goodness. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can I proceed?
Please carry on.
All right. So well, the church opened my eyes. So I think everything started happening when I decided to leave Nigeria to travel to
Mm.
US. So upon that, I still believe, I still pray a lot. Even when I get to America in 2014, I pray a lot. I'm still going to Mountain on Fire, like the branch here. I'm still going. I join choir. I still go. I'm still on fire for the Lord, like we used to say. Everything started when I got married. When I married my wife, I'm still going to church. But what happened was my wife, she's going to different churches. Then I
Uh-huh.
decided to join her in her own church. Like, okay, let
Okay.
me follow you to your church and see what's going on. So in that church, it's like, American style flow church. I don't know
Mm.
how to say it. It's Nigerian church, but they put it in terms of the concept
They were
that they were
more
using.
they were more
Yes,
liberal. They were more
yes,
liberal. They were more
yes,
they were less strict.
yes. They're less straight, and they try to do everything like American style, American style
Right.
of really American style of preaching,
Of doing things.
like yes. So I don't want to say it's strange for me, but it's kind of it make me drop back a little bit and think. So I'm not like every day we're going for deliverance, we're going for night vigil, prayer, and all those stuff. No. So I now just fall back a little bit. Then by that time I started busy with my business. It didn't give me much time to do
Go to
the
church.
yes, to attend those churches program and the rest of the stuff. So I was just like, okay, I take what I have. I started moving on to the church. I don't want to mention the name of the church, so
That's
um,
fine. You don't have to.
yeah, as I started going to that church. So that church really make me feel like I'm in new something entirely. But I say I enjoy it. So everything now started when there's now say, oh, the rules and the regulation for the church, like oh, don't wear Nigerian culture clothes when you are,
Really?
yeah, when you are a member of the church. Don't
What?
don't speak Yoruba in the church because this church did not belong just for Nigerian. They try to make it like Kenny Copeland,
American. Mm-hmm.
Kenahi
Mm-hmm.
again, and church style. So I
Right.
started, okay. Then I started drawing back a little bit. I was playing drum for them in the church. I
Mm-hmm.
played talking drum. Then they were like, we don't want talking drum because they just find excuse for me. Then I'm like, okay.
Oh.
So by then I'm like, okay, let me even know this thing that I believe though. Let me study this Bible. Then I started.
Mm.
Um, it started when I listened to I don't know whether you know Don Barker.
Dan Barber.
Yes, Don Barker.
Don or Dan?
Is
Dan
the
Barber.
yeah yes Don Barker. He's the one that's
Freedom from religion or
freedom from religion. Yes,
freedom from religion.
Ev-
Yes.
yes. Everything started when I don't know what I'm looking for on YouTube anyway. I just jam Don Barker. I'm
Ooh,
like,
on
wait, what is this
YouTube.
guy talking about?
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
like, what is this guy talking about? Then I just like, okay, I leave it. Then I continue again. Then there's another person that really touched me. Is um I'm trying to remember his name. What's it called? Um, I'm reading his book now though. Sorry, my
Christopher
mind was
Hitchens?
not Christopher. I listened to Christopher Ishin later. He's uh
Dawkins?
no, he's the one that wrote Forge. I'm even studying the Forge book now.
Okay, no, I don't
I'm
think I
almost done
know.
with it.
I
It's
don't know
Bat
who that
Hammer.
person is.
Bat Hammer.
Oh, Bert Harman.
Yes.
Bart,
Yes.
Bart Herman.
Yes.
Bart Harman?
Yes.
Bart Herman.
Yes. Bat Hammer.
Yes.
So I now see their debates. From there, I started like, wait, there's debate. There's even something
Bart
called debate.
Herman. Yes.
Yes. I'm like, there's something called debate. Then I started with the debates. I started watching
Mm.
Christian and atheist debates. Wow. Then I'm like, what? This is a lie. Then I'm like, what? Wait, there is debate? You know, back in
Mm.
Nigeria, you don't even have data to open 1 hour debate, or you want to
Mm.
open 45-minute debate to watch. No, because
Mm,
you
no,
don't have
no, no,
access to.
but hang on. Forget data now to watch any debates. Who's going to be debating who in these churches? These churches each have their own little compounds, have their own little ministries and businesses. You know, they don't have time to engage in debates with each other. You don't get debates over there. No, no, no. The debates, that's why for Taye and myself, you know, you come online and you see people actually going at each other. You don't question, you're not to question anything. Anything you're taught in the church, you're supposed to believe. If you don't like what's being taught in one church, all you do is find another that suits your needs and suits your desires. You don't have to follow, right? So it would be a strange thing for you to actually see people debating things that we were taught that you were not to question, you were not to challenge. So, right? Am I right?
You're 100% right. Yeah. But what I mean by the data is like, even your pastor, if you know is lying or you didn't agree with him, there's no
Mm-hmm.
way for you to cross check with other people in terms of this debate. That's what I mean. Like, not until I started watching the debate, um, what's it called? Don Barker is the one that first opened some chapter from the Bible that I'm like, no, this can't be in the Word of God. I'm like, this is no, it's not. Then I started open with him and I'm seeing it. I'm like, wait, wait, wait. It's like I'm just swallow the bread with plastic. Like whatever the
Hmm.
pastor say, I just take the bread and swallow it. Instead of me remove the plastic, then eat the bread. No, I just take the bread, swallow it with plastic. And I'm like, what? Then I started my own research from then. From then,
Mm-hmm.
that is what up to now, that's when I began started my own research. It started when and I went to YouTube. There was this if you want to study Old Testament and New Testament full class on YouTube is there from York University,
Mm-hmm.
the Yale University. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they have their lecture for both Old Testament and New Testament. I don't know how come it's just because I'm making research anyway. All these things started popping up. Then I see like 30 class of Old Testament. I think it's like 25 classes of New Testament from those lectures. And this is the same lecture that our so-called pastor that we went for. Do you know I'm a Bible scholar? Do you know I went to this Bible school? I'm like, this is this course. Then I sit down. I listened to this course like full a month. I started
Mm.
jotting down, making notes. If I have my Bible with me now, if I open my Bible, you know, you're gonna think like something
You
is going on
you're
in
you're
that
a
book
Bible scholar yourself.
because I'm marking it, I'm studying
Mm.
it, I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening. Anyone that don't understand the language, I open like four what's it called versions,
Different
five versions, and
interpretations.
started
Yes.
compare it to each other. I make geographical, research and all those things to know
Wow.
exactly where this thing based on. And to be honest, everything fall flat. Then
Mm.
I still remember the day that I told, because I'm a twin. I told my twin brother
Oh
that
yeah.
I told my twin brother like, I think I'm done with this. My twin brother
Mm.
was, what? I said, yeah, I'm no more Christian. I still remember the date. It's like
Mm-mm.
2 years, 2.5 years ago. And Oh, I can't tell. I wish I can tell my wife that, but I cannot.
Your wife, she's still a Christian.
She is. She's a deep, not just Christian. She's a deep Christian, but
Wow.
recently she started figure out like, oh, Ty, you are not the same person that I got married to. Like,
Oh gosh.
um, you've changed. Sometimes she will even call me atheist. Sometimes she call me devil
She calls
worshiper.
you an oh, she calls you a devil
Yes,
worshipper.
yeah. She just using it to play, but
Oh,
I'm
she's
serious.
just
Like
teasing. She's just teasing you.
yes, maybe I did something that she didn't like. She will like that is not what I expect from you. Sometimes I feel like you are worshiping devil. Then I'm like,
Oh
okay, if you say
no.
so. So I don't reverse from that again. He said sometimes I would just like, do you know where devil stay? She would just feel like, I don't know. So if you don't know, I'm not worshiping devil. Then we will just
Exactly.
we'll just joke about it and we let go. But sometimes, like on Sunday, oh, let's go to church and all those stuff. I will like, I'm not going to church today. She will like, what? You're not going to church today? Yeah, what are you doing? I'm busy. You busy than Jesus message, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't think so, but I'm busy now. She like, okay. She will go to church with my son, and when she come back, sometimes I will try to form like, oh, I'm busy. Meanwhile, I can still go to church, but the reason why I didn't go is I can't listen, to pastor lying. Like,
Exactly.
how will you quote Paul? I see. I've studied Apostle Paul. I really thank Mephision. I watch you on Mephision with Derek. And if you want to study about Paul, I don't know, maybe you know Rabbi Tovia Singer.
Yes.
Yes, I that is where I know more about Paul. Then I started my own research too, and I see like no, everything fall flat. I'm like I can't I can't cope with this. I just throw away like I'm done. And up to now I'm still studying, still trying to know more about this religion. If there's evidence for it, I promise you I will go back. If I see the proof, like
Mm.
this is exactly what I'm looking for. And one of my example is someone that Boko Haram cut off his hand or her hand.
Yes. Yes.
I want the miracle, like all these big churches that we have in Nigeria or Christianity. Yeah, just pray and let God,
Let the
give new
hand
brand new hand.
grow.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to hear I have kidney problem that I know, he can heal by himself, or I have liver
Nobody
problem
can
that,
see.
yeah, 88% he can heal by himself. But I want to see someone that their eyes get removed and new eyes come. To be honest, it's just been like when I look back to kind of testimony that I'm giving myself as a Christianity, I was so ashamed now. Like, wait,
Mm-mm.
this is science proof the proof some of these things. Like
Yes.
science the proof all of them. I'm just like no, I can't cope anymore. But each time I'm on your program, Derek, I don't know whether you know Pancreak.
Pine Creek. Yes.
Yes, I enjoy Pancake too because Pancake really show me some places like it give me big how to answer some of these questions and not just
Questions.
like you are doing force. It's like just practical way. You see
Mm.
Christianity is flat,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
practical way.
Mm-hmm.
So right now the position that I am right now is I'm happy. Like any
Oh.
decision that I make is either I'm like, oh Taye, you made bad decision, that's why you
Mm.
get these results. Oh, Taye, you make good decision. That is why you get these results. I don't put it like it's a work of devil, it's a devil that pushed me to do it, or it's skinny corn that do this. No, I don't do that anymore. So and yeah, my twin brother said something to me last week. It was like, hey Ty, do you know because my twin brother too is no more Christian.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he told me, do you know since I left Christianity, I have rest of mind. I'm like, what? What did you
Mm-mm.
just say? He said,
Wow.
yes. I'm like, okay, the same thing is happening to me. I have rest of mind since I left Christianity. Like, I, I, I can't wake up and tell you like, oh, I pray because something happened because this. No, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't know
So
whether you just wanna come in.
apart from your brother, do any other members of your family know that you're no longer a Christian?
My sister,
Apart from your twin brother.
yeah, my sister. When I was just like, where I'm still new in atheist. I don't want to say
Yes.
I'm full atheist, but I'm agnostic. If there is evidence for God, I'm ready to come back. My I'm still like very hot then. Then my sister, she will be sending me,
Mm.
this WhatsApp long message, like this big long message that they will be
Evidence
telling
for God.
you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just reply her back one day with like,
Look at the trees. Look at the
yeah,
mountains. Therefore,
yeah.
God.
I reply her back one day. She now say, Taye, what did you just send to me? I'm like, I think that is how I feel now. I
Mm.
think I haven't, since I we talked like twice, and since then we didn't talk about it again. But she still think like maybe I'm going to church, but uh, apart from my twin brother, that he deeply know that I don't believe this crap anymore.
Mm. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a very hard question. Um, you know, do you think that you and your wife will be okay if she never changes, if she carries on being a Christian, like the way things are now, right? Do you think you will be happy to go ahead with the way your life is right now? I don't know if
Uh,
that's the right question
yeah,
to ask. You know,
yeah. I understand your question. Um, right now it's
I'm
kind of
just
tough.
hoping. I don't want you becoming an atheist to. I don't want you to ever get to the point where you start to dictate to your wife what she should believe or shouldn't believe. And I don't want that to start creating problems in your home. Atheism, in my opinion, atheism is a very personal journey. Atheism is not like, you know how Christians will proselytize to you, come and hear about my Jesus. My Jesus died and he saved you, and before you know, just give your life to Christ. Here you are, you are a Christian. It does not work like that with atheism. And so I'm not, I'm not of the opinion that anyone should try and recruit people to atheism. If she starts asking questions, then maybe. But what are your thoughts at the moment with the way things are?
Right now, I think I still keep it myself,
Okay.
and I didn't say that she been suspect like I'm not like before, and I didn't say anything bad about that, but in terms of she started focusing me that we have to go to church and all those things. That's what I try to like. Oh
Avoid.
no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. You can't force me to go to church, and I say it in a manner whereby she will understand. Like, okay, this is the reason why I
Mm.
don't want to go to church today. Sometimes
Hmm.
I keep myself unnecessarily busy. Like, oh, I have catering because I'm a chef, so I'm prepping for this or all that. Or sometimes if I feel like I can't escape it, I will follow her to church, and I will just sit there. Sometimes, some of the time, I don't want to say I'm praying. Like, I'm praying for Manchester United to be playing football on Sunday. I will be in the church, just turn on my football, be watching it. And sometimes if they didn't play football, I would just be in the church, be listening to what pastor is saying, and I will be picking, be picking like, oh no, this is wrong.
Poking
And
holes in his story.
yeah, exactly, I will be using another verse to counter what you were saying in my mind.
Okay.
There was a time inside the church, he was preaching, and we're still trying to give like social distances in the church, and I didn't know that I said it loud. Like, that's a lie. And someone
Oh
And
my.
so, and someone beside.
Oh no. I don't know what happened. What happened? Taye, you went off. Oh no, guys. Taye says while he was in church, well, the few times he's been to church since then, he finds himself just poking holes. Well, within himself, not saying it out loud, but he starts to poke holes in the stories that these preachers, come up with. That one time he found himself openly saying, "That's a lie." He blurted the words out. That's a lie. Listen. Oh no, I don't know what happened. It's really hard. Yeah, he cut out. Yes, he did. You know, okay, he's back now. He's back now. Yes, there we go.
I'm sorry about that.
It's,
I don't know.
it's
I don't know
it's
what's going on.
okay.
Yeah.
What you said the last time made me laugh. So you blurted out, "That's a lie."
Yes, I don't know
Oh
that
my.
the person beside me, like the way I was, like I was so frustrated with that message that was going on that Sunday. Like this guy is lying, he's lying, and I'm using another verses of the Bible to tackle him. Like I don't know
Mm.
what I just said. Ah, that is a lie. And the lady looked at me like, brother Tai, what did you say? I just looked down again. I didn't say nothing again. I was just like,
Wow.
I'm like, I'm like, okay. At this point, at this point, I think I'm gonna get in trouble by going to church. Like I'm gonna really
Mm.
get in trouble, and I'm trying to avoid that. Because of pandemic now, they stop like Bible study, coming to Bibles, and I'm happy about that because if they open Bible study again and I'm going, I promise you they're gonna dismember me
Oh my.
because I will not be able to hide it anymore. Like I'm gonna
No.
be tackled the pastor. I'm gonna be tackled them like seriously because I don't subscribe to if you are preaching from Apostle Paul to marriage like oh Paul said this in the marriage. I'm sorry for the noise play.
No,
Like
please. Don't be sorry,
yeah
please.
like Paul said this in
Don't,
the marriage.
please.
Paul said you
Taye,
should love your
Taye,
yes
do
ma'am.
not apologize anymore. Okay?
Oh, all right, all right.
Please do not apologize.
All right. Like if pastor is preaching from Apostle Paul, and I know Paul never have a wife, and if you haven't get into marriage, you don't know how man and woman live together, and you're advising for marriage relationship, and you now say, "Oh, it's Holy Spirit that told you." No, you
Mm,
have Paul have to experience how men and women live together and see how they
mm,
get on their nose before you can tell me like, "Oh yes, Paul said this," and I will believe what you said. Like this is what Paul said. But Pastor jam Paul, jam Peter, jam everything together and use it to. No, I'm like, no, I can't subscribe to this anymore. So
mm-mm,
because of
mm-mm.
that, I'm like, anytime that they're preaching from Apostle Paul, especially Paul, I'm like, this guy is not even, it's not part of disciple. How did you know? When I started figuring out the year that Paul even wrote his own letter, it's just a letter like I'm written letter to my girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You
How
know
we
what you're saying, right? This is one of the things when I started making my way out of Christianity, I started figuring out that look, this thing we call Bible, some of those books are psalms, right? Some
hmm,
are poems, some
exactly.
are letters. So we as the church have built doctrines on someone's letter. Someone
Exactly.
wrote a letter from where he was sitting on his desk to a church in Corinth, and thousands of years later, some people have grabbed that letter and built complete doctrines from someone's letter. How does that make sense? Many thousands of years ago, if it was David or what's the other one, his son Solomon sat down there, they put pen to paper, wrote a poem or a psalm, and then many years later, you see someone comes along, gets that psalm, and decides that, you know what, this is going to become canon. This is going to be how we Christians are going to live our lives. How does that make sense at all? And what Taye is saying is a very important thing, that how can Apostle Paul be telling people how to live their lives as a couple, as a married couple, when Paul himself never got married? Paul himself said he would rather keep himself single because he wants to make heaven. Yet he's telling married people how they should live their lives as couples. So Taye says, no, 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 no. He would rather not listen to Paul because Paul himself had no clue about marriage. Right, Taye? Am I right?
Oh, you are 100% right. 100%. Because according to their Bible, Paul never married. He's even advising people, like Catholic today, they believe like, oh, what Paul said that you should keep yourself, this and that. That is why they don't marry. So if you don't have experience on that, I'm surprised how you will feel like, oh, I have to take advice from Paul because so-called Holy Spirit was directing him or her or whatever. That is why you have to you have to listen to Paul and everything he's saying. You know, I would just feel disappointed. Like, no, 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 I cannot. And when I see pastor preaching from that, from Paul or from even any pages from the Bible that they were not 100% sure. No, I'm like, no, I demarcate myself from that.
Okay. So um the question that I have for you now is, um so you're from Nigeria, and I am half Nigerian, right? And so the population in Nigeria is over 200 and something million people, over 200 million people. 49% of that population are Christians, 48% are Muslims, and the rest are atheists and others. So people that do the juju worship, Ifa worship, Shango, all those things, right? Now, Nigeria has been voted the poverty capital of the world several years in a row. People are getting poorer the more religious the country is getting. In fact, a country is getting so religious that now we're even having religious extremists like the Boko Haram. I hear that there's another one now that has risen up. Apart from Boko Haram, there's a new sect,
Bandits.
a new sect that has risen up now. Not Boko Haram, but a different one now. You know, so
Yeah, they call them bandits.
they're bandits now. What do you think? Don't you think that the more religious the country is getting, the country should be getting better? Why is the opposite the case? Why is it that the more religious, the more the country takes on religion, the worse the economy is getting, the worse the people are getting, the more people are going into poverty? Can you tell us what your thoughts are about that?
Yeah, I just believe it's not working. They said it's only foolish person that will be trying same thing and expect different results. It's not working. Like all the religion, Islamic, Christian, and the rest of the traditional. Even the time of the traditional is, I think, it's better than this now.
Hmm,
The time of the tradition that they chase them away now and take over from them. Their own time is better than this. You see all these big churches and in Nigeria, like all where we're supposed to use as factory warehouse for people to work, turn it to industry. Churches bought all these places and they
hmm,
turned
hmm,
into
hmm,
church and
hmm.
started doing their so-called Christianity there every Sunday. I always say the most best. I'm a businessman. Here in America, like the labor take most of your expenses by the time you pay your staff and the rest. If church started paying choir, they pay all their pastors, they pay their cleaner, they pay everyone. I promise you, they won't open any churches anymore. But it's because they see this free labor and they didn't hire nobody. Maybe they only pay the keyboardist $100, and the pastor that they pay, maybe they have their own branches that they
Mhm.
pay themselves from, from the rest of the people that come to their own churches. But this thing is not working. The system is not working for us. It's every day is drain Nigeria. The poor people keep believing this, and they make you like, oh, if you don't do this tomorrow, this thing will happen, bad thing will happen. This we've already drained ourselves in that mentality. Like without in Jesus' name we pray, Amen. We can't achieve anything. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? It's
I
so
understand
toxic.
you.
Like every time that I'm talking to because what we are discussing now, it's only my twin brother that I believe we talk deeply about this every day. This thing drain Nigerians. Like not just Nigerian, African. It make us
Hmm.
to believe like if you open according to the book of Isaiah, that is when you receive your success. You open according to the book of Luke and your pastor quote it, the woman of issue of blood, you shall receive your miracle. It make people become lazy. What you're supposed to do immediately, you go to your church and go and pray foolish prayer. I always say like there is nothing fail like prayer. Like
Hmm.
the
There's
most,
nothing that fails like
yes,
prayer. Wow.
nothing. The most lazy thing in this life is for you to sit down and say in Jesus name we pray. You will fail
Mm-mm.
flat. You will, because the same they say pray about it, and at the end they will see how you, oh, if you don't work, you will not, God will not bless the hand that doesn't work. What was my essence? What was the purpose of praying then? So
I remember when I still used to go to church,
it's
they
like
used to
really
tell
really
us
ridiculous to me.
they used to tell us then that you know going to church, going to work on Sunday, it's like you're making your job an idol. Your job has become an idol, and you are choosing your job more than over God. And so they would rather you, and here in the UK, you earn more on a Sunday. People look forward to earning, going to getting shifts on a Sunday, because Sunday is a day. In fact, in some cases you could get up to double pay, right? But some people, most of these churches, they want you to be in church on a Sunday, because if you're not there, then your job becomes the idol. You have chosen your job, but the same people want you to bring money to church, but will stop you from going to. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Now I'm going to play a video here, okay? Um, so this was a video I saw. Oh goodness, what happened to Taye? Taye, what happened? You went away for a second
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I
Okay,
don't.
I'm going
It's
to I'm going to play a video. This
all
was
right.
only a few days ago. This was a pastor, right? This pastor is going to tell us why no member of his choir, ushering team, no one in church gets paid. The church receives money. The church receives all this income, tithes, offering, building, everything, but nobody gets a payment at all. So let me share my screen here so you can see this. So how do I wait? Let me start all over again.
Hello?
Sorry,
But I've been in ministry now,
hang on,
29
hang
years
on,
plus.
hang on, hang on. I don't know what I did.
I don't
Okay.
pay nobody. Hello? Listen to me. I don't know what is happening here, oh, but I've been in ministry now, 29 years plus. All the keyboardists in our church, the drummers in our church, the bassists, I don't pay anybody any salary. I know that's a controversial issue. I don't pay. You know why? Now, sir, ma, you have children. Stand up. Does your parents pay you for sweeping the house? Do they pay you for throwing out the trash? Why? Because you are part of the family. Because you are part of the family, you have your part to play in your father's house and in your mother's house. The same way you are there, throwing out the trash, sweeping the house, cooking, taking care of things, you still go out to go to school so that you can pursue a career. So if the kingdom is a family, and the pastor and the pastor's wife is the father and the mother, and the members are children, why should I pay my children? I don't pay nobody. Hello? Listen to me. I don't know what is happening here, but I've been in ministry now 29 years plus.
29
All the
years.
keyboardists in our church, the drummers in our church, the bassists, I don't pay anybody any salary. I know that's a controversial issue. I don't pay. You know why? Now, sir, ma, you have children. Stand up. Does your parents pay you for sweeping the house? Do they pay you for throwing out the trash? Why? Because you are part of the family. Because you are part of the family, you have your part to play in your father's house and in your mother's house. The same way you are there, throwing out the trash, sweeping the house, cooking, taking care of things, you still go out to go to school so that you can pursue a career. So if the kingdom is a family, and the pastor and the pastor's wife is the father and the mother, and the members are children, why should I pay my children? I don't pay nobody.
Okay, that's it.
Hello?
So, guys, did you guys hear that? For 29 years, he has been a pastor for 29 years and has never paid anybody. The people who work in his church, the keyboardists, the choir, the people who give their time in these churches, they do not receive an income whatsoever. And he gave the reason why. The pastor and his wife are seen as your mother and father. And when you do chores for your mother and father, you're not supposed to, your mother and father don't pay you for doing chores. So, and you see something, guys, this is the average, this is the mentality of the average preacher, pastor, bishop. You see, Christianity, most places, most people, when they go to the house of God, it's the house of God. Look, if you're offering a service, imagine, say you have a flower service, right? You do flowers and decorations, right? It is your day-to-day business. The church will expect you to provide that service to the church for free. So it's your business. That's how you feed your family. That's how you put food on your table. But that because you're bringing that service to church, it's your father's house. You can't charge your father. So when you do the service for church, you're expected to do it for free, plus labor, plus material, plus everything. And then at the end of the month, you still have to pay your tithe and your offering. Taye, did you hear that?
That was so. See, this is what I call manipulation. You able to do anything.
Taye, you're cutting out. I can't really hear you.
Can you hear?
Speak again.
Can you? Oh, I was.
It keeps cutting out.
Cutting
Taye,
out.
go out and come back in again. Go out, come back in.
All right.
Yeah, just go out, come back in again, okay? Sorry, guys. Can you imagine for 29 years of owning a ministry and you have never paid? You've never paid. That's just stealing. That's thievery. The pulpit bandits. Goodness gracious, these people. So, guys, I don't know. I have a very strong passion for just exposing Christianity over in Africa. This is not the way to do Christianity, for goodness sake. Okay, let me remove this one here. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you better now.
All right. All right. Yeah.
So
You see the way the
Beach asked a question. Beach asked a question. She said something about his watch. Beach said, I want to know what brand of watch he is wearing. He's probably wearing the best of the best. Their children, Beach, their children are never suffering there. Their children are sent, to good countries. They've received money. Their children are off. They're there collecting all the money. Their wives get to sit there as the queens. You know, everybody else gives them money because they are the mouthpiece of God. It's crazy. Christianity has become a thorn in the flesh. Christianity has become a cancer, a canker worm in Africa. I I struggle to see many positives. They talk about community, they talk about, it's a place for the sick to go to, and all these things. But at what cost? At what cost is your Christianity? When people decide, you know what, I don't want to be in this church anymore, and then you shun people, you attack them, you tell them that they're going to go to hell because they stop coming to church. You know, Taye, please, I'm going to let you speak.
pastor just feeling is going for that is what I'm
Sorry, hey,
saying.
Lord,
The
I can't hear you, uh, Taye. I really cannot. Church has been in this country for over and never paid taxes. Taye, your sound is muffled. I could hardly hear you. Oh,
or let me see
are you still outside? Guys, if you have any questions, now is the time to ask any questions at all about Christianity and religion in over in Africa, or any personal questions to us, you know, as long as you're not asking me when was the last time I had sex. Ah, okay, as long as you're not asking personal, well, you know what I mean, guys. But if you have any questions to Taye,
Can you hear me
if you have
better
any
now?
questions to yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah. I think that is what I was saying. Like the way those pastors will frame it, they make you feel guilty yourself. Like, oh, because
Mm,
if you didn't do it, you're gonna be guilty. You feel like, oh, I don't do it for Christ. Meanwhile, they were the one that being favor. You are doing them a big favor. You are increasing their business. You know, 30 something
mm-hmm,
years.
mm-hmm,
Ask that pastor to pay $1, just $1 for one person for that. So you know how much that is gonna be? No, but it's receiving the money. It's pocketing it. Oh, they now turn the church to like is that is where Jesus lived. That building, Jesus is living there, eating, drinking. That is where Jesus lived. Is the manipulation? Is the tactics that African pastor were using? That's the tactic, and there's no way to. We can just say it straight the way it is. That is their tactics. They make you
mm-hmm.
feel guilty.
Okay, okay. Taye, at this point, I don't know if you have seen this video. I'm going to play a video now. Um, I want you guys to see what church is starting to look like over in Africa. At this point, we don't know what is church. We don't know what is the Juju house. We don't. All of them are now church. All of them. They just, anybody can open a place, preach whatever, and it is church. They call Jesus, they call God, they call Holy Spirit. How can you tell who is the real preacher, who is not? Everything is church. So I'm going to play this video now. Brace yourselves, guys. and see what church looks like. Okay, this was a video that came out only a few days ago. It's very recent. So what you're about to watch happened just a few days ago. Okay, let's share my screen here. This is church.
Yes, you are welcome in the name of Jesus. In the mention of the Lord Jesus.
So this is the church premises, because usually most of these churches have their own compounds. So this man you're about to watch, he is the pastor, preacher, whatever, I don't know what he calls himself. His own kind of church is such that he promises his followers he can make them rich by praying to God. They just need to do some certain rituals. I've done a video on him before. He was in the water. All the members were all butt naked, and he had a mirror. He said it's the mirror of life. That they should all pray. He was praying to make them all millionaires and took them to this very dirty river. So but now it's like he has developed a new tactic. Now he's not in the river, he's now in his church compound. And so yeah, this is I think the people here, anyone you're seeing here, has come to him for prayers. They've come to him for help. I don't know. I don't really understand. I don't understand the language, but just from what's going on, you can sort of work out, they're there for some kind of help.
Yes, you are welcome in the name of Jesus. In the mention of the Lord
Jesus. Guys, can you see? Can you see that every one of them have a podium that they're standing on? They're all wearing white. There's incense burning. Each person has a chicken in their hand. Maybe I would not be surprised. Those chickens will be sacrificed later on. Yeah, but he started off by in the name of Jesus. So everything they're doing here is all in the name of Jesus.
my story. Change 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 my story.
They're praying to God to change their story.
Change my story. Change my story. Change my story. Change my story. Change my story. God of Onyese. God of Onyese Jesus. God of Onyese Jesus. I am God around my situation. God around my situation. God around my problem. God around my situation. God around my situation. God around my situation. God around my problem. God around my situation. God around my situation. God around my problem.
Yeah, this is Taye Jesus. I can search worldwide. Children of Light, Anointing Ministry, Keden and Paul, Anambra State. One of the temple, I need to come and see KKC. And I fear.
So I don't know if you guys saw some of those statues there of angels, and I don't know if I saw one of Jesus there, but they're definitely angels. So yeah,
you can see. This is Taye Jesus. I can search worldwide. Children of Light, Anointing Ministry, Keden and Paul, Anambra State.
Children of Light. Children of Light Anointing Ministry.
Na fia no ko ebo na dey me o le bi ko me si ike. You can see. You can see.
Someone is praying, I want to be a light in my generation. I will be a light.
This soil there, Jesus. I can also to what do I? Children of Light Anointing Ministry. Get in a bone Anambra State. One of the born at them, one on a temple and a human seeker. You can see. About below your business guy that go for my. The colleague in a line. I look in a line, but I look in a line. Business guy that go for my. Like you take in a line. You opening the man that go for my. The colleague in a line.
He's basically trying to say that this is a place where problems are solved. If you have problems in your business, problems with your health, problems with your any problems whatsoever, this is a place to come. Your needs will be met here, and Jesus, no, not just your needs, but Jesus will meet you at the point of your need here.
This is your answer, Jesus Christ. This is your answer, Jesus Christ. I can answer to what we are Children of Light Anointing Ministry. Get na phone Anambra State. On a temple and every comment seeker.
Okay, I think that's enough. I don't know what they're doing here now. Let's see. So each person has a bowl behind them.
Type what you want. Type what you want.
Right. So guys, the person speaking in the background is telling people that anything you want, just type in chat. Type in the chat anything you want while this prayer is going on. Type in the chat, So guys, same goes for you guys. Anything you want. You want a helicopter, you want a Maybach, you want a Range Rover, you want whatever you want. Just type in chat as these prayers are going on, and you just never know. The God that's answering these prayers here might just answer your answer your prayers.
This soil there, Jesus Christ. This soil there, Jesus. I can also to what my Children of Light Anointing Ministry. You can now go to Anambra State. One of the born at them and every man seeker. In our fear. Here, I can add business saying, and I go for my. I look in a line, but I leg in a line.
Okay, that's it, guys. That's it. So yeah, type in chat if you anything you want from that God. Yeah, this is wow. Taye, have you seen that video before?
I've not. That was so strange. But I've heard about the pastor before, but I've not seen the video before.
So Taye, there's a question here by JG. Is that Christianity or is that voodoo?
Right. Oh no, it's Christianity, of course. There's
that's Christianity, right?
There is a type of assorted, there's a type of assorted Christianity in Africa. Like just dish is buffet. Whatever you want, just dish out of it. That's part of it. Maybe that one is jollof rice style.
Jollof rice style of Christianity, guys.
Exactly.
That is Christianity, and I just Jesus clocking Christ. Yeah, I want religions to end. Beach, it's not going to end anytime soon. It really isn't going to end anytime soon. We can only just keep on just exposing these things. When Christians want to, they want their religion to dominate, they want to be in the seats of power, they want to dictate everything that goes on in people's lives. You know, I think this is what they want. This is the utopia they crave for. A place, a time when everyone just worships whatever version of Christianity they choose. It's just Christianity is everywhere. You you come out of your house is Christianity. Eh, Down the street is just Jesus. Down the road, someone is blaring down the microphones. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Everything you do is just, I don't know. That's the utopia they want. I don't know. I really do not know. Guys, does anyone have any questions? Do you have any questions? Winning? No, people Thulu. That's one thing they cannot give you, unfortunately. Imagine if all these pastors had the lotto numbers. Come on now. Don't you think they every week would have been winning, winning and winning and winning? No. That's one thing they don't have. They cannot give you that. Giant, half chicken, half squirrel. Kweli, Kweli, my brother, this is Christianity as we see it in Africa. It's uh, a great beach. We will all be better off when religion is gone. I don't ashes. Afro humanists, does child abuse happen as much in Africa due to religion as it seems to happen in other parts of the world? I don't recall hearing about it happening in Africa. Right. Taye, are you still there?
I'm here 100%.
Okay, good. Okay, so I will
I
answer
can
the
answer
question
that
and
question.
yeah,
It's kind of
go on,
interesting question.
go on. Answer the
Yeah,
question,
I
please.
think the way they were hiding it here is the same thing how they were hiding it in Africa. Africa is because they can't just tell you specific like, oh, this church is doing it. But I promise you, there is child abuse everywhere in Nigerian churches,
Yes,
everywhere. Pope,
and
I mean, those bishop, Jiho, you hear small pastors sleeping with church choir, church member, pastor sleeping. Everywhere. It's happening. Child abuse is everywhere in Africa. African religion, both Christian and Muslim.
also Mark. I don't know if you know that example, the Catholic Church, what they're doing now, which is becoming a real huge problem, is if a priest is accused of sleeping with little kids, say in the US, you know what they're doing now? They transfer that priest to Africa. They transferred, they're now moving priests around, and some of them are being moved to Africa. Now, over in Africa, they do religion very different. You cannot challenge, you really cannot challenge the people in authority. You're supposed to just go with the flow. If you don't like it, then bugger off. You don't have to stay. If you don't like how Christianity is done in one church, you just find your listen. You cannot. I've got a video on my channel where a lady said a family came to her. Their 3-year-old daughter was raped by a pastor. They decided as a committee, as a group of people, to take it to the police, to report it to the police. The family of the girl came back to them and said, we as a family have decided to forgive the pastor, right? We feel that it is our duty to forgive the pastor, that God will judge. They leave the judgment of bad people in the hands of God. So they told the people that no, we no longer want to pursue justice for our 3-year-old. Pastors are sleeping with young girls on a daily basis. It's happening every day. But guess what's happening? It's all just being hidden. People cannot report. How can you go and report a man that has so much money? Nobody would listen to you. No one, because in over in Africa, they respect. Ask the average person, what would you like to be when you grow up? And they tell you, I want to be a pastor, because the position of pastor is now regarded really highly. Nah, they regard the position of a pastor more, even higher than a doctor. So you find people, they want to become a pastor, because the pastors are, the vice president right now in Nigeria, he's a pastor, the vice president. In fact, just a few days ago, he has now made his intention known, because election is coming very soon. So the vice president, who is a pastor, has made his intentions known. He's running for president. So if he now wins, imagine if he's the vice president now, and he has made his intentions known. He wants to run for the seat of president. Imagine if he becomes president. This was a man that, when there was unrest in the country, people were crying to him, help us, help us. You know what he said? He said, it is time for us to pray to God. God should help us with the insecurity in the country. When your vice president says, let us pray to God for insecurity of the country, then listen, what else do we say? So imagine if someone in that vice president's church sleeps with the young girls. Well, unfortunately, you talk about child abuse. I myself sitting here have been, you know, pastors have made advances. I went to a pastor's office. He called me into his office for something. I've shared the story here before. I got up about to leave. The pastor got up from his seat too. Before I could say A, B, and C, he had grabbed my hand, standing in front of me, planted a huge, big kiss on my, very wet kiss on my lips. I stood there, and his wife was in the next, her office was in the next room. His wife was just there. I stood there and did not know what to do. For 1 minute, I could not. He then asked me, what did I think of the kiss? Before he could say A, B, and C, I was out of that office, and I never went back to that church. Never. I left that building and never went back. I don't know. Well, before then, we were told that he sleeps with most of the girls in the church. I did not believe it. I honestly did not, until that thing happened with me. And I was only 17 or 18 at the time. 17 or 18 at the time when this happened. But hey, I didn't tell anyone. I just left, ran away. That was it. If I'd gone home, told my mom, my mom would not have believed it. I don't think. I didn't bother to tell anyone. Just left it. So yeah. Let's see if there's any more questions. Doing now. Same thing they've been doing for centuries. Move the priests on until, yes, that's what they're doing now. They're moving them now to Africa, where these priests, when they see, he's a white man, the white man cannot hurt us. He is so good. Oh, he's so perfect. Did it take leaving Africa to wake up? Maybe immersion in the environment is the issue. Dean, I would say yes, that indeed leaving Africa was a huge part, because when we were over there, there were things that we used to pray for. We used to pray for electricity. We used to pray for water. We used to pray for good roads. We used to pray for the basic food to eat. You pray to God for food. But when you're in, say, like in the UK, you're in the US, or you're New Zealand, or good God, there are some things that you don't have to pray for. You don't have to pray for good roads. There was a video I showed here when people stood by the broken down electricity, the transformer. They were praying to the transformer, to God, for God to heal the broken transformer so they can have electricity. So when you come to a place and you see that everything works, then you ask, what do you need God for then? If you're in a place where everything is working as it should, you just immediately cancel out the God factor. But a lot of people, it doesn't quite work like that. They still need to hold on to God. They still need to hold on to that God belief. Taye, are you still there?
Yes, I'm right here. Sorry for the reception.
Please don't be sorry. Did you want to answer that question? That did it take you leaving Africa to wake up?
Oh yes, of course. Why not? 100%. It's part of it because if I'm still there, I promise you I'm still gonna be blind right now. Like I
Mm.
said, there are some research that you make here that you can't even have access for to it in Africa. Like, to know how this thing being created, who write this scripture, you know, some archaeologist evidence that you can make research about. I promise you that you don't even see time to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Africa. Are you the one that want to make research about that? No. So it's
Research.
because it's because you have chance to do that here. You create that time for yourself. Then living Africa is 100% part of it.
But how come it's not everybody who leaves Africa that ends up leaving religion?
Okay, and in that one, I would say you now in you now depend on how interest you are in this religion, how you want to know the truth about what you
Mm.
believe. Me, I really want to know the truth. Like, I want to know the truth. What did I believe? I want to know the truth, and that's what gets me out. And I study this Bible like crazy. When I beginning studies, that's when I fall out.
And now, do you know what I find? I find that most of these churches over in Africa, what they're doing now, they're starting to relocate their branches. So they're now having branches in the US, in the UK. So even though the people have escaped, some people have escaped the hard life. They've gone to better countries. They're moving these churches around as well because we need your dollars, we need your pounds, we need your hard currency. So you find that people, even though they've relocated from Africa, they come to say the US, they don't find, that's the feeling you get when you go to church and you're able to dance, dance and praise. Hey, my God is good. Oh, hey, how they do church. When they come to the US, the way they do church is different. They feel strange in those places. They can't blend in. And so they want a church that's very similar to what they left behind. And so these people, these pastors are taking advantage of that and starting to bring these churches over. The churches are now crossing the boundary. It's sick. Taye, am I right?
Oh yes, 100%. You're right. You're right. Like here in America now, I promise you, like by the time you go to like maybe in one street in Texas, just one street, you will see Nigerian churches like Redeem, for example. You will see many of them, many of Redeemed churches like Nigerian churches. They started having branches. Like how many kilometers you see another church, how many kilometers you see, and they were all African churches, and they're doing all these things. It's really really annoying.
It is. It is. Anyways, listen, I have really enjoyed this conversation with you, and you know, going forward, I know right now, not a lot of people know that you're an atheist. Me, I'm an out and open atheist. If you like, hit your head on the wall, hit your head on the rock, because I'm an atheist. That's your problem. And I'm happy where you are right now in your journey. Your wife still being a religious person, listen, that is not your, that's not your responsibility whatsoever to try to change her, to try to win her over to this side. No, 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 no. You know, you can, like with children, you know, I believe in teaching children the truth. I believe that you should not hide, like my son wanted to know why I was no longer a Christian. One of the reasons why I was no longer a Christian. And I told him that Christianity believes that newborn babies are sinners, that when a baby is born, that a sinner, that the baby is born a condemned person. And my son said, "That's not fair, Mom." I said, "Well, that's one of the reasons why I am no longer a Christian and I can no longer identify. How can I choose a religion that condemns babies? You know?" So, guys, does any of you have anything you want to add before we bring this to a close? Is there any questions? Did you want to say anything else, Taye?
Oh,
Gosh, we can't hear you, Taye. We can't hear you. I have plans
can
to
you hear me
say
now?
a great. Yes, can hear you now.
Okay. I mean, like, well, what to tell my son or what to teach my son, what I believe now. My son is still like a year and a half years old. Um, and I really like, I find it sometimes very frustrating when my wife reading, like, those baby book, Jesus book for him.
Bible
There's one of his,
stories.
yeah, there's one of his book that I like, son,
Gosh.
and Israel, the
You
Egypt
know,
and all those
you know
stuff.
what? You know what? Taye, hold on. Taye, hold
Yeah.
on. Taye, you might need to go out and come back in because we need to hear what you're saying. It keeps cutting out. Please. Oh, that's so
Okay.
frustrating. I
Let
was
me.
just saying something really important there. Goodness. The more you read the Bible, less you believe it to be true. More people read the Bible the wrong way. Read it by comparing history, science, logic, etc. Henry M. Hello, hello, hello. America is a very fertile hunting ground for new suckers. I completely agree. Completely. Okay,
Can
that's
you hear
it.
me now?
Yes, can hear you now.
All right. Yeah. So like those baby book, like story in the Bible for babies. You know how they
My
make
book
all these
of Bible
children baby books
stories.
now. Yes. How they make it nowadays. So my wife like to read those book like, and one day I just pick up the book. Let me read it first. It now started like, and Moses took them from Egypt, and when they leave Egypt, and they live happy life. Wow. I'm like, this story did not finish. Why you can't tell my son and Jesus killed them and they stay 40 days, I mean 40 years in wilderness and Jesus takes serpent to kill all of them. Why can't you read this story? But they take all this thing out. I immediately I just threw the book away. The book away. This is doctrine. You keep doctoring my son. Oh, this is what happened. Meanwhile, something different. I can't complete the story and come outside. And Jesus, this is what I did, or Yahweh, or whatever, you know. And the big part of it is like when the time that I have my son, I think that affects me as well. Each time I look at
Mm,
him, I'm like, how come that this baby will be sinner?
mm-mm,
He
mm-mm.
know nothing. But my pastor will sit there and say, "Oh, he's a sinner. It's only Jesus that can that for him. Jesus do this that for him."
That's
This big
that's so that's it.
in
That is
US.
so heartbreaking. That's so heartbreaking that your 1.5-year-old son is a sinner.
Exactly. Here in US, some people find it difficult to teach their children how to speak their language and all those stuff. So, but I always speak my language to my son, and I see that this boy started understanding everything that I'm saying, like from the beginning. everything that I'm teaching him, he understand. Immediately, I started very like, this is power doctrine. This is what I know that to now. If I say, oh, Jesus died for you, Jesus do this, that is what he understand. And
Hmm.
right from there, from that little boy, add it to the doctrine, really, really terrible.
It is. It is. Okay. All right. Unit 666. See you later. Taye, we're going to bring this to a close. It's been 2 hours now, and I need you to go and look after the young man. But listen, this is a community of us who have left religion behind and are trying to make sense of our existence, living the God-free life. We don't have all the answers. We don't. Most of us haven't got a clue, but somehow we are thriving. We're doing well. We're living fulfilled lives because we have chosen to give up the God factor. That's no longer a part of our lives, and we're making sense of life. One day at a time. They say that Jesus is the reason for this season. Well, Jesus is the reason that we get some extra days of holiday, but that we should worship someone who came to sacrifice himself, it just doesn't work. So Taye, what are you going to be doing for this Easter period? How are you spending it?
What a big question. It's good
Huh?
that I asked
Sorry?
this with my wife. I said, what a big question that you asked.
A big question.
He is, because that same question asked me 2 3 days ago. Like, oh babe, what are we doing for Easter? And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna go to casino and go and have fun with casino. She was like, oh,
She doesn't want to go to the casino. Oh
yeah.
my. Oh, she wants to go to church, right? Oh, you can hardly hear him. It must be tough. Can you imagine being in Ty's shoes? Ah, my goodness. Thank you, Beach. Thank you, everyone. Honestly, one of the worst things that religion does is tell children that they deserve to be tortured forever. It's a shame. It is a shame. Absolutely. Jew on a stick. Happy Jew on a stick day, everyone. Yeah, it's today, Friday. It's today that he's supposed to have, we supposedly was on that cross shouting his head off. Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Lama, lama, sabachthani. Oh my goodness, what a failure. Huh? Jesus failed the first time around, and somehow we're supposed to believe that he's coming back again. I mean, for his own, in his best interest, he should just stay hidden. He's been gone 2,000 years, been hidden for his own morale and for his reputation. He should just stay hidden because whatever he came to do the first time round, he failed woefully. And the chances are he will fail again and again and again and again. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Today would be the day when God killed. Today would be the day when God killed his own son. He's such a loving God. He loves you so much, but he has to kill his child for you, though. He loves you. He loves you. He's got to kill his child and dare you not believe in that story and you end up in hell. You just not believe in that story of him killing his child. See what happens to you then. Crazy. Crazy people. Good Friday. Seems like it is. Nothing good about the Friday. Nothing good about it. Hmm? just another chocolate day. By the way, I've got my chocolate. I haven't had mine yet. My boys, they've had theirs. They've each had their chocolate eggs. They've each had. I think my younger one, he had the Twix. He had Twix, and the older one, he had. I think it's the bouncy one he had. I'm not sure now. So I will go and choose mine. There's lots of chocolates to go around. Lots of chocolates. JG says, I never asked for anyone to be killed for me. Exactly. Why should anyone die for you? An innocent person, JG. How can you rejoice that an innocent person lost his life? They'll say, oh no, but he was not human. He was human. He came in the form of a human. How can you celebrate that an innocent person has been killed for you? You're indirectly not involved. You're not involved in the death, but you're maybe complicit in the act of this murder. Someone has been killed, for goodness sake, a premeditated murder, and you sit there and rejoice over the premeditated murder of. Anyway, they will tell you that he rose again the third day, so he didn't quite die. It's just a twisted story. Just twisted. Anyway, Taye, do you want to just tell us your last few words and we bring this to a close?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was, but I hope next time I'm gonna do better. So, thank you so much.
Yes. And Taye, you need to go and look after the young man. So I need to let you go now. Thank you very much for the time that you have taken to speak to me. Please let us carry on these conversations. We need more and more people to hear this message, especially those people that think that Christianity is somehow a good religion. They think that Christianity is like a bed of roses. Come over to the Christian side. We Christians, we have it all worked out. Our God and our Jesus and our Holy Spirit, they are the best. You can't have any other. You can't have any better than what we are offering. Unfortunately, when you hear stories like mine, you hear stories like Taye's, you see the videos that I show, you see a different side to Christianity. The side of Christianity they don't want you to see. You see it here. And how can a God sit there and let these things happen? How can a God on his watch see all these things happening in his name? All these things are done in his name. Guys, thank you all for spending your time with me. Jesus wasn't innocent. He just went around flipping tables for no good reason. He had a bad weekend to pay for my sins. Good deal. Really good deal. Because now they're all worshiping him. My cat is answering the baby. Oh. Thank you, Taye. Please, Taye says, please, JG says, please come back again.
I'm here. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
I will.
Thank you. Thank
I will.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
All
No
right.
religion is a good religion. I appreciate that. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, night, noon, morning, wherever you are. And I'll be back tomorrow. But thank you, Taye. I appreciate your time. Okay, guys. Thank you all. And goodbye, everyone. Good night. Good night. Good night.